When we look at it as not in my backyard and we throw it away, we don't understand that there is no away. It is our environment, it is our neighborhood, it is our planet. So till it gets processed right, it is still my responsibility.
This is Saranya. She's a volunteer and also the treasurer of Residents of Kasturba Nagar Association, or ROKA as everyone calls it. They've built one of the most successful waste management models in Chennai.
From my childhood itself, we've worked a lot with waste management and sustainability, only we didn't know that it was called that. And ROKA was born in 2018. So around that time, they were doing a lot of visiting the neighbourhood apartments. So when they came to our apartment, it felt like just the right thing to join them. I think right now our goal is to have more people join this journey along with us. So maybe we go into the specifics of the segregate project. So the segregate project focuses mainly on 4 main roads, which is close to 1,000 households. And there are 3 main components to this project. One of them is handling wet waste. The second one is handling soft plastics. And the third one is door-to-door awareness in order to get people more involved into this whole movement of source segregation.
ROKA regularly invites representatives from resident welfare associations across the city to educate them on the best and most feasible waste management practices that they can adopt within their communities.
We have 3 lane composters which is placed on streets in Kasturba Nagar. The conservancy worker would keep about 25 kilograms of wet waste every day near the lane composter. The wet waste is mixed with cocoa peat and it is placed in the lane composter. The top is covered with dry leaves so that the organic matter is not exposed outside. At the end of 45 to 60 days, the lane composter is ready to be harvested. So the residents who give us their wet waste can buy back the compost for their terrace gardens as well. During this period, there is a liquid called compost tea which can be extracted. We have donated this compost tea to several farms, and one of the farmers takes it on a regular basis from us.
See, I'm Gokul from Karani Farms. Kottivakathil irukom naanga. It is highly sandy. Soil heat adu pathinga adu evaporate ஆகி போயிட்டே இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. தண்ணி விட்டால போய்டும். So nutrition அதோட சேர்த்து போய்டும். So அந்த டைம்ல இருந்து this is helping us actually. So this enriches the soil as well as it boosts the plant's growth.
While the ROKA team is helping them understand the process, logistics and upkeep, it's important to understand why they're doing what they do. There are micro-composting and material recovery facilities where wet and dry waste are processed. This year, the Greater Chennai Corporation has taken a decision to shut down most of these centers. And without them, decentralized processing of waste in the city takes a big hit.
When I segregate at source, I segregate in my house. So again, decentralized over there. And if I'm able to aggregate all of this segregated waste and process it in my neighborhood itself, it seems like the simplest solution. So apart from community models of composting, ROKA also suggests individuals to compost in their own homes. So it couldn't get more decentralized than that.
The best example of a self-sufficient model is this government school at Kamaraj Avenue in Adyar. The ROKA team helped set up this in-situ waste management plant that the school uses to process their food and kitchen waste efficiently.
So every day about 20 kgs of food waste is being fed into the crusher, which crushes the food and sends it to the digester. The digester has cow dung and microbial action is happening on an everyday basis. So just like our digestive system, the microbes would eat the food waste and releases gas, and the gas is captured in the balloon. We've connected it directly to the kitchen. Whatever is left is collected as a slurry, cow dung slurry, in a drum, and that is highly rich in nutrients which can be used either for composting or for the garden which we have set up in the terrace here.
ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்டவ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அதில் வந்து எல்லா உணவையும் சமைக்க முடியாது, ஆனாலும் என்னென்னா முட்டை வச்சுக்கிறாங்க, பருப்பு வகைகள்லாம் வச்சுக்கிறாங்க. பெரிய ஸ்டவ்வில் வந்து சாப்பாடு பண்ணாலும் 3 மணி நேரம் ஒர்க்கை வந்து இது வந்து ஷார்ட் ஆகுது.
With this little initiative, the school has actually saved almost 7 LPG cylinders, each weighing about 128 kilos, in just 7 to 8 months. Teachers like Vijay say that this waste management plant is a blessing in disguise.
முன்னாடியெல்லாம் சிலிண்டர் வர்றதுக்கு லேட் ஆகும், இந்த கட்டைகளெல்லாம் தூக்கிறதுக்கு அவங்கவுங்க அலைவாங்க, அந்த விறகுகளை எடுக்கிறதுக்கு நாங்களே இங்கேருந்து மரத்துடைய கொப்புகளெல்லாம் உடச்சிருக்கோம். இப்போ அந்த கவலையே எங்கள் ஸ்கூலில் கிடையாது. புக்கை ஓப்பன் பண்ண வேணாம் மேடம், நம்ம டெரஸுக்கு போகலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிற அளவுக்கு எனக்கு சந்தோஷம். இதே நான் என் கையில் இருக்கிற அந்த பிளாஸ்டிக் டப்பாவில் 2 ஓட்டை போட்டு காற்றோட்டத்துக்காக ஓட்டை போட்டு நானும் ஒரு செடி வைக்கலான்னு வீட்டில் பேரண்ட்டோட செடி வளர்த்து எனக்கு போட்டோ அனுப்புகிறாங்க.
I think the food waste processing plant was closest to our heart because it becomes part of a lifestyle that they see. So it becomes obvious to them that food waste is a resource that can power their own kitchens.
The ROKA team's effort to recycle soft plastics deserves attention. These are lightweight, flexible plastics like milk packets and food wrappers that often end up in landfills since so little of it actually gets reused or recycled.
There are hooks that we have distributed to apartments and independent houses, and people are encouraged to collect their soft plastics and punch it in the hook, and a conservancy worker would collect it once a month, bring it to a centralized location. It is taken to an aggregator called Spreco, where the soft plastics are converted into utility products like boards or flower pots or paver blocks.
This soft plastics that you see here got stagnated for a long time. We couldn't figure out solutions for that. And that's when we realized we are solving a wrong problem. And that's when our focus shifted towards a less competitive, a less looked out waste stream, which is the soft plastics.
Chennai generates about 6,500 metric tons of waste every single day, of which about 4,000 tons ends up in landfills. The city's next big and controversial proposal is to set up a waste-to-energy plant.
As far as India is concerned, we don't see that there is a lot of success stories in terms of WTE. For WTE to function effectively, source segregation is again bottom line. But without correcting that primary pillar or the basement for waste management is source segregation, setting up a WTE plant is not going to be really helpful. Only the fractions which are not really able to be recycled or recovered can go into the incineration plant. Right now in India, co-processing is the only solution that people talk about. Co-processing is nothing but sending these as a raw material for getting burnt at a cement factory. Burning is the end problem, end solution that someone can think about. So when you can make value before burning also, we can try and resort that.
So if we do manage our waste, not just segregating it, but actually finding workable solutions, then we have a real shot at reducing the burden on larger metropolitan cities across the country.
So through the We Segregate project, it's very exciting to say that we've diverted close to 580 kilograms of soft plastic, and through the lane composters, which takes only 25 kilograms per day, we have managed to divert 9,200 kilograms of wet waste, and the result of this is 3,000 kilograms of black gold, which goes back into enriching the soil. Isn't that cool?
And if 1,000 households can accomplish this, imagine what millions can do for the future of waste management across our country.